Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. You can tell I just got out of the shower. I came out here really quick. I knew I was going to do this video this morning. I'm going to say something really strange. The more I looked into Britney Spears videos and read about her and looked at her Instagram posts, the more I don't know how to say this, the more I started seeing myself, and I started to wonder if this is what maybe Britney Spears fans see in her. All right, let me start at the very beginning. On TMZ, I was looking through stories yesterday, last night, see what I was going to talk about this morning. And one of the top stories on TMZ, there's several, there's like 3 or 4 different stories, so it's a big deal. A lot of people are interested in it obviously. Sam Asghari, I hope I'm saying that right. Asghari is filing for divorce. Officially has filed for divorce from Britney Spears, and I'll get into that more in a second. So I came across these stories. I see how good, my Britney Spears video, the pole dancing video, has gotten over 3,000 views, and usually a video hits, it peaks, it'll run out of views, and it'll lose it. People will lose interest. All the people that are going to watch it, watched it. And it keeps going up, and it's a little different, and I noticed the people watching the video more, and I discovered the reason for that too, and I'll talk more about that in a second. So I started, looking at these stories about Sam Asghari filing for divorce and everything, and I decided, I was like, maybe I'll go back and look at her Instagram, and I'll get the link again. I didn't think I could go back to my own YouTube channel, and pick the link up that I put that on my own video to get the link right there. But I also wanted to go back and see if she posted any other pole dancing or any other questionable behavior on her Instagram. So I went back this morning about 1 o'clock this morning. I've been up since 1 a.m. looking at Britney Spears' Instagram. And I've had about enough Britney Spears as I could take today. And I started going through it. And there'll be a few links down below. Here's the thing. I didn't find the pole dancing video. I discovered, and then I thought, because there's so many Britney Spears Instagram channels or whatever profiles that it's hard to, I'm not sure which is the real one. And I thought I found it. I'm sure I found it, so I couldn't find the video, and she took it down. That's apparently why. If you go to my channel and try to see the video, you won't find it. And it's like, damn, I should have downloaded it myself and saved it. I didn't. I don't know if that'd be legal. I don't know if you could actually do that. YouTube is extremely tight with copyright infringement. So even if I did have it saved, I would be too scared to download it, because it's getting 3 strikes and you lose your channel completely forever. Anyway, I went back and I started looking at the Britney Spears posts, and the thing that came to mind was I felt sad. I really felt sad for her. She seems like a teenager. She seems like a 13-year-old girl in a woman's body. I thought of the 41-year-old women I know, that have kids. And would I ever see them like this? She's dancing, and I'm not, I don't know anything about dancing, but her dancing is just, I guess you could call it spontaneous. That's the nicest way I could put it. Like I said, I'll have a few examples down below. Another thing, she's dancing in these little skimpy outfits, and I want to say I get it, Britney. You got a nice body for a 41-year-old woman. You definitely it's in shape, it's tone. I get it, because she's showing herself off and running her hands all over herself. Another thing she keeps doing is she's got the bottoms. I thought this was just maybe, because I didn't see a whole lot of Britney Spears videos before I did the pole dancing one, so I didn't know. But she does that constantly, where she hooks her thumbs into her bottoms and pulls them down, and they're already very far down in the front and the back, and I think she's if she goes 1/2 inch further, she's gonna start showing cooch, man. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to say to call it here. I gotta watch how what I say. And then I figured out why she does this. She's got 2 tats. I don't know what they are. Right in the creases where her legs meet her pelvis. I could see 2 tattoos. and she's trying. I assume she's trying to show her tattoos. I mean, I think there's a better way to do this, with like some kind of sticky glue so the bottoms stay down, because it looks weird. It looks like she's it either looks like she's constantly gonna pull her pants down, or it looks like she's got some kind of itch or something. It looks weird. Like I said, the more I watched it, I noticed it looks like she's always in her house, always alone, making these videos where she's in front of the camera dancing and showing off her body and stuff. And then all of a sudden it hit me. I was like, oh my God, that's me. I got to be honest. So I started to think of reasons. Because on here I'm sitting here every morning talking all by myself in front of the camera, just like Britney Spears. Then on my Facebook page, I've told you guys this before, because of my recovery, because I lost 96 pounds and I've kept it off for 17 years. Got all my teeth redone. I'm a totally new, rebuilt person, in my recovery. And I want to, my goal is to tell other people there's hope. You can do this. Recovery is possible. And plus, I'm a 57-year-old man, and I'm in fairly good shape. It's taken a lot of work, but it's made my life more enjoyable. And I thought to myself, so I was trying to think of reasons to separate myself, those reasons. I do it for these reasons, but then I thought to myself, well, maybe Britney Spears tells herself the same thing. Maybe she tells herself she does this for the girls that were in, because she was in a conservativeship, and she was kind of held down, controlled, let's say. And maybe she does that. Maybe she sees herself as giving other people hope in that fashion, And then I started to realize there's no freaking difference between me and Britney Spears. Believe me, I hate to say that, but I can't sit here and pretend there is. Okay, and then it gets even deeper. I see myself in her even more, at least when I was younger. I'll get into that in a sec. I'll talk about that now. So anyway, I discovered that the pole dancing video is gone. She deleted it. That's why I'm getting more and more views. People are looking, they're wondering if they could still see it on my channel. And that kind of disappoints me, that they're looking for Britney's pole dancing video more than looking at my channel. I'm sure I picked up a lot of subscribers since then and everything too, so it's benefited me. But anyway, so now getting back to this. So shortly after that pole dancing video, last week, I feel kind of silly talking about this, but I'm gonna anyway, because it reminds me of a time in my life. In fact, at 57 years, I've gone through a lot of stuff, and that's why I talk about this. That's why I talk about these videos, because I see myself when I see some of these stories. And they got in what was called a nuclear blowout last week. Sam Asghari and Britney Spears. They've been married since July 28th, 2021. July 28th, 2021, I believe. No, I'm sorry. That's when they filed for divorce. That's when he filed for divorce. I'm sorry. They've been married since 2021. I can't remember, about 14 months, 16 months, 18, 16 months, something like that. Anyway, last week they get in a huge fight, and this is what TMZ is reporting, that Sam Asghari accused her of cheating on him. And I thought, as soon as I read that, I thought to myself, that kind of fits the profile that I've been getting in my mind, because all these videos where she seems insecure, she seems, she's very, showing her body and, like me, love me kind of thing. Again, I'm thinking of myself when I'm saying this now. I can't get this out of my head. That those kind of people are usually insecure, and I remember being like that when I was younger, and I'll talk about that more in a second. So he's filed for divorce, and his lawyers hinted at contesting the prenup. I guess they filed a prenup. And he's asking for spousal support. It doesn't say how much. And like I said, his lawyer's hinting at contesting the prenup. And I guess on TMZ they're saying that will probably result in Britney just writing a check. It must be nice to be rich, man. You get divorced, one of the worst things in your life, and your ex just writes you off a check of millions of dollars, and you walk away. And that's a whole different world from the world I live in. Anyway, okay, there's another link down below where she was spotted just yesterday. She was spotted driving a Mercedes in LA without her wedding ring. Yeah, I'll probably use that picture on my thumbnail. You'll be able to see the story down below. And they say in the story, they say, well, we've seen, we occasionally seen her without her wedding ring, but it's a little more significant now that Sam Asghari is filing for divorce and all that. Like I said, so he accused her of cheating. They had nuclear blow up. And it reminds me of, I'm going to talk about myself a little bit here. It reminds me of, like I told you guys, I've had 4 women that I could say that I've loved with all my heart in my life. My childhood sweetheart, my high school sweetheart, 2 girls in my, one girl in my addiction, and then 2 girls since I've been clean and sober. It's 4 women in all that I've loved with all my heart. And I think about my first high school sweetheart, and there was a time when, up until I was 14 years old, I was overweight, I was quiet, I was insecure. I lived out in the woods. My father had passed away, and then I moved to what you would call the bad side of the tracks. I grew about a foot. I lost about 80 pounds. I started wearing the in clothes, the Nikes and stuff like that were popular back in 1980. And I got noticed so much more in high school that I started dating. I was a freshman and I started dating juniors, like popular junior girls. And that just, I got a lot more popular. But I still had insecurity. And I remember, I got the girl that I was dating, my high school sweetheart. I showed you a picture of her in another video, and she was gorgeous. But I would constantly look for other girls to get affirmation, to get to that that they want me. I don't do that anymore, but I remember being in that insecure person, because it was a big change going from being unpopular and quiet and picked on and not noticed, and all of a sudden becoming popular, and you kind of overdose on it, and you still can't believe that you're actually popular. And I remember this one incident. I was out with my friends. I was about 19 or 20 years old, and we ran into a couple of girls, and I had a girlfriend, so I told my buddy, I'm all set, but he wanted me to go with the extra girl so he could hook up with. There was 2 girls, so I sat down and talked to her for a couple hours while my friend went off and took a walk in the park with the other girl. And we got along very good, a little too good. And like an idiot, I gave her my phone number and my name, and we didn't do anything. I didn't cheat on my girlfriend. But I went home that weekend. I went out with my girlfriend that weekend. And me and my girlfriend walked out of the house, and we went to my car, and there was a note on my car. This girl that I had sat down and talked to started getting feelings for me, and my girlfriend sees the note. She says, "What's that on your car windshield?" And all of a sudden, I'm like, "Oh my God!" I knew exactly what it was. This girl knew where I lived and everything, and she wrote me a note because I had stopped talking to her after that day, because I had a girlfriend. I didn't tell her that though, and my girlfriend freaks out, and I take the note. I was 19 or 20 years old, and I threw it in a sewer, so she couldn't. My girlfriend was trying to grab it, and I threw it down in the sewer, and so nobody could get it. And it was kind of obvious what was going on. It was worse because I didn't explain it to her. I didn't actually cheat on her. I just sat with this girl for a couple hours and talked to her. But I made that other girl think it was more than it was, and I look back at the mistakes I've made, and I see myself in Britney a lot of times. Some of the mistakes I've made and some of the insecurity that might still be there. Anyway, the links will be down below. There's a couple of Britney Spears dancing they're just weird. Like I said, I'm not saying that to bust on her. I feel sorry for her. And maybe that's me just seeing myself in the videos. Anyway, I'll be back later definitely with another video. You guys have a great Thursday.